Today we're making the best and I think healthiest fettuccine alfredo that you can possibly have on the planet. We're making it with my brand new carnivore noodle recipe. I'm gonna link that video for you in the description box down below, but I'm gonna show you how to take that carnivore noodle recipe and turn it into those wide, flat fettuccine or linguine style noodles, and we're gonna turn it into my wife's favorite, the Carnivore Fettuccini Alfredo. And I'm gonna throw in a little surprise of another pasta recipe that I'm gonna have along with it as well. Stick around to the end because we're gonna do something really tasty and incredible Italian style with Carnivore Fettuccini Alfredo today on Chris Cookin' Nashville. All right, y'all, this is gonna be an easy one. I already have a small batch of my carnivore pasta batter mixed up. I'm gonna show you guys how we can cut this piping bag so you don't have to buy any special tips. You can just use a knife and turn these noodles into those flat, wide style noodles so you can make things like fettuccine alfredo or ribbon noodles or linguine or any of the other kinds of things that you might wanna make. Then I'm gonna show you how we make an incredible Alfredo sauce because I've had a bunch of people ask me to redo my old video of that. So we're gonna do a fantastic Alfredo sauce, tasty, thick, rich, and delicious. If you're doing high-fat carnivore, this is a pasta you do not want to miss. Let me go ahead and get my water up to temperature, and I'm gonna show you guys how we turn these noodles into the flat fettuccine shape simply. All right, to turn this batter into fettuccine or linguine shaped noodles is actually very simple. So you're gonna need a really good sharp knife. You could do this with a pair of scissors, but it's easier to do this with the accuracy of a blade of the knife. Essentially, I'm gonna cut a very tiny tip off of the piping bag, and then I'm gonna use that tiny tip and I'm gonna go 90 degrees against that, and I'm gonna cut a slice down through the center of the bag. Now, two things you need to know. The bigger tip you cut off of the bag to start with, the thicker the noodle is going to be in terms of the actual thickness you're gonna bite through. Then, number two, the longer of a slit you make down through the tip of the bag after you've cut that little tip off, the wider that ribbon of noodle is going to come out. So the bigger tip makes a thicker noodle, the longer slice makes a wider noodle. It's entirely up to you how wide and thick you want that to be. And we're gonna pipe out some fettuccine noodles. I don't want these to be very thick because I like the texture of these to be thin. I'm gonna press that nice and flat, and I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna cut off just the smallest little tip right there. So a very small amount, just like that. And I'm gonna do it with a sharp knife and one thin, quick slice, like that. Then I'm just gonna turn this 90 degrees, holding this flat again, so I have a flat tip of that bag right here. I'm gonna cut right down the center of this bag, a little slit right down the center. I wanna keep it as straight and as perfectly in the middle of that cut as I possibly can. Put the tip of my knife at the end of the cut that I wanna make. And right there, you can see the slice. Now that we have that slice made, told you it was simple, these are going to come out as flat ribbon style noodles. When you squeeze, that slit is going to open up and the tip that we cut off is going to allow it to flare. And when you do that, it's going to allow the mixture to pipe out in a ribbon shape instead of a round hole shape. So all we got to do is bring our water up to temperature, and we're going to go ahead and pipe some noodles and then we'll set those off to the side to rest, and I'll show you the Alfredo sauce. All right, we're gonna make this Alfredo sauce for the amazing Carnivore Fettuccini noodles that we just made. Now, I know traditional fettuccine Alfredo is not made with any kind of dairy besides butter. It's butter, it is starchy pasta water, and it's Parmesan cheese. But good luck finding starch that doesn't have carbs, especially when you eat a keto or a carnivore diet. So because we're not using starch, I'm going to use dairy. Sorry to all the Italians out there who are gonna tell me it's not the right way to do it. I get it, but you know what? Doing a keto or carnivore diet, this is the way we got to do it. So we're going to take cream as our base. I'm going to also add in a little bit of cream cheese. You do not have to do that if you don't want to, but it does make it a little bit extra rich and it helps hold the sauce together since we are doing this without that starch to create the emulsification that we would normally have from pasta water making traditional fettuccine Alfredo. I'm also going to add in some herbs and some garlic and a little bit of onion, mostly because that's how my wife likes her fettuccine Alfredo. Doesn't mean you have to. If you don't want to use seasonings, you can absolutely leave them out. They are optional. If you are a traditionalist and you say fettuccine Alfredo shouldn't have any herbs or garlic or seasonings like that, I get it. You make your fettuccine Alfredo however you like it. I'm just going to make it the way Ash really enjoys it. So I'm going to put all of the amounts and all of the ingredients and this whole process on the recipe card for you, which is linked in the description box down below this video. The recipe card page of my website is down there underneath of everything. So go down there, click on that. It'll take you straight to the recipe card page where you can find all of the detailed instructions. Let's go ahead and throw together some incredible Alfredo for these carnivore noodles. And one thing I'm going to do, which you do not have to do, I'm going to do it though because it's really nice, is I'm going to use a little bit of sodium citrate, which is a salt. It's a sodium. It's a salt that is going to help break down those cheese proteins and make this nice and smooth. I'll link that one in the description box for you that I'm using in case you want to try it as well, and it will be on the recipe card. It is optional and you can do this without it. It's just a little extra insurance that we get a really nice, smooth, creamy Alfredo sauce. Let's go ahead and turn this pan on a medium to medium high heat. And let's make some of the best Alfredo sauce you've ever tasted. All right, next we're going to take the noodles and actually put them into the pan with the sauce, toss them. That way they're nice and hot and they're ready to serve immediately. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but don't go anywhere because I have another surprise for you that I'm gonna do with these same noodles and make something a little bit different that I've gotten a lot of requests for. I think it's gonna be really, really good. So let me toss these noodles and then I'm gonna make a second surprise pasta dish for you. All right, this is the surprise dish. I've had this request a number of times and I think it's going to taste really good. We are going to do a ketovore, almost carnivore, clams and linguine. This is going to be a fantastic dish. So we're going to get that started. We're going to cook it all up. I'm going to put all of the instructions for the ingredients on the recipe card, just like I did with the Alfredo. We're going to throw it all together. And just like with the Alfredo, we're going to toss those noodles and enjoy. Let's get to cooking. All right, y'all, that is the Carnivore Fettuccini Alfredo with perhaps the best Alfredo sauce I've ever made. And the Carnivore noodles used for clams and linguine. Let's dig in and see what we think.
For starters, this smells absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I already like the shape of these noodles. I like that. Oh, wow. 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 That is delicious. That is perfect. Your noodles are always incredible. I really like this noodle recipe that you've come up with. Are you gonna still some?
I am, yeah.
Whoa, beef. Okay, well, hold on. What if I taste some of yours? Hold on. Taking my pasta. That's good too. These both are incredible. There's something about having the right shape though of noodle that just kind of enhances it and makes it taste even more so like the real deal fettuccine Alfredo without all the carbs and junk. Your Alfredo sauce is probably the richest, creamiest, cheesiest, most delicious sauce I've ever had on a noodle. That's so good.
If you guys want the Alfredo sauce a little thinner than what I made, you can use a little bit of water or a little bit more cream to thin it out while you're cooking it. Totally up to you. You can use more sauce. You can use less sauce. That amount of sauce that I put on there, I just put the whole thing on for her, but that amount of sauce really would do all of these noodles probably really well. I'll put the amounts in the recipe card for you so you know kind of about how much pasta I was using from my noodle recipe, and then also how I made the sauce so you can kind of put those amounts together. If you like that amount, make the full amount, go ahead. It's not gonna hurt anything. If you want less than that, you can make more noodles and spread it further. It's entirely up to you.
Who needs Olive Garden when you've got Chris Cooking Nashville?
Well, there you go, guys. That's how we do the noodles, the Alfredo sauce, and the surprise clam linguine style recipe as well. This is fantastic. I am looking forward to enjoying all of the rest of this. And I know that seafood sometimes may or may not be good for you. It can be a hit or miss kind of a thing. So the fact that you like the clams, I think that's a pretty big win as well.
I would agree, yeah.
Guys, all the links you're gonna need are going to be in the description box, including the recipe card page of my website. We also have the link for our band, the private community that we have down there where we do extra recipes, private live streams, a bunch of behind the scenes content, all sorts of cool stuff, and it's a great community. We would love for you guys to join if you want to be a part of that. In the meantime, go make some amazing noodles like this, put some Alfredo sauce or maybe some clam linguine together for your family. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this one, and I would love to hear, if you try it, what you used it for, because you can use it for a whole lot more than just Alfredo sauce. We appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe while you're here. This is Chris Cooking Nashville. The beautiful Ash Taylor. You guys eat your meat. Now your fettuccine Alfredo done with my new Carnivore noodles. Love your life. We'll see you here in the kitchen for a bunch of crazy pasta recipes like this. And if you love these fettuccine noodles, you've got to check out this video right over here.
Yum. Why is it so good? Wow, 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 wow. You could like do this for like a living. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah.